Since the beginning of time, fashion.
Stop. This is a joke. I promise. But fashion has been very questionable. Prime example, look.
Oh, jump scare.
Yeah, so fashion over the years have been very questionable. But the place I do know for a fact that has the best fashion is the one and only New Orleans, Louisiana. Mixed with their Creole blends and their large range of diversity, they easily have the best fashion of all the states combined. Let's take a look. After a long day of exploring the beautiful city, I was able to sit down with two New Orleans natives to discuss the fashion, highs and lows of the New Orleans culture. Let's take a look. So what is your name and where are you from?
My name is Kenni-Marie and I'm from here. I'm from New Orleans. I'm actually from the West Bank, which is like 2 minutes away, across the river.
I'm Kylar Coleman and I'm from New Orleans, Louisiana. What I love about fashion is that it gives us the opportunity to display our unique personalities and our style just using articles of clothing.
I love that you can express yourself no matter what you wear. Like, you can wear anything you want.
I define fashion as just a way of being able to express who you are without saying any words. It's just super expressive of your true self, essentially.
I define fashion like, okay, you put on something and it shows who you are. You can express yourself in any way, shape, or form.
Some current trends that I noticed is that vintage is like very in now. Our fashion now is heavily influenced by the 90s, which I really love because it's history sort of repeating itself. I also noticed that like cyber Y2K is sort of kind of a thing now. Everyone is kind of mimicking a lot of what was popular back then in the 90s. So those are some current trends that I've noticed.
In the 90s, the New Orleans natives have always been themselves. From the short shorts to the high crop tops, they were seen as, quote, ghetto fabulous, from parties to house parties and even throughout the bounce music. Even the little girls on Sundays with their ruffled socks. New Orleans always had a creative blend of fashion.
I think fashion influences New Orleans culture because I feel like here people can wear whatever they want, and it's just you do you.
I think fashion influences New Orleans culture because New Orleans residents are super over the top. I mean, we live in such a vibrant and amazing city, so of course our residents are also vibrant and amazing, and of course everything that we do mirrors that. So I think fashion kind of inspires us to show our culture through clothing, and I think New Orleans culture inspires fashion because we like to put it on. Like, I feel like Mardi Gras is the perfect time where you really see New Orleans fashion and New Orleans culture come together, and it's put on a big display, essentially.
Mardi Gras fashion is seen as very colorful and over the top, with all ranges of displays and diversity. With that said, this almost mirrors the energy that exudes from New Orleans itself and gets everyone excited.
I feel like locally it's very big. There's a lot of support. New Orleans is such a small city, so I feel like its residents really do the best they can to support these small businesses. However, I would like to see them supported more on a global or nationwide aspect, but because we're such a small city, locally they are pretty known.
Like, people do get judged a lot about like what they wear, even though you can put on what you want and you won't get judged, but like in other places people look at us and be like, what's going on? So yeah, I feel like the black businesses here, they do give a lot of, like, they give people stuff that they would wear. Like, say if something's trending, you're probably gonna see it.
Specifically, what I think we should do is definitely team up with these businesses and put them in places where support will be given and where support will be shown. So bringing them to college campuses, bringing them to high schools, and not only teaching kids and students about entrepreneurship, but also showing them, like, give support to these brands. These entrepreneurs came from the same place that you are. They look just like you. Just basically showing kids, like, they're determined and if they're determined and they put their mind to things, then they definitely can achieve.
I feel like people should really just support their Black businesses more. Like, for example, my mom, she owns a business, and I feel as though people don't, say if you post something on social media, you post something that doesn't really matter or isn't supporting you, and it'll get hundreds of likes. But if you post something to support your business, no one will really share it, depending on the kind of community you're aiming towards. And I feel like the Black community should actually invest in other Black people and Black businesses in order to get things to be as much as the white businesses are.
Of course, love that.
I feel like people should know that you can come down here and have fun despite all the crime and stuff. I feel like people should come down here and get to know about all the culture, like the French, the Indians, Native Americans, everything, and have fun. You can do what you want, wear what you want, and still have fun no matter what.
One thing I have learned throughout this experience is that in New Orleans, they don't just dress up for regular occasions. They dress up for all occasions. I would describe New Orleans fashion as a fashion that keeps up with social trends while also being well-rooted in tradition. New Orleans has easily become one of my favorite cities, and I would recommend for everybody to come at least once. This has been My Nola, My Story.